These are 3 of Patrick's worst episodes ever from SpongeBob, starting with I'm with Stupid. The episode starts with SpongeBob heading over to Patrick's house hoping to go jellyfishing. Instead, he finds Patrick in a frenzy cleaning up his place and making furniture out of sand. Now Patrick reveals that it's Starfish Day and his parents are coming to visit. He's super stressed because they think that he's dumb and he just doesn't want to look stupid in front of them. So to help Patrick out, SpongeBob comes up with a plan. He'll act like an idiot so Patrick looks smarter in comparison. And Patrick loves this idea, so they just go for it. The next day, Patrick's parents arrive, and the first thing they do is make a comment about how he's actually able to recognize them, unlike last time. But to be honest, if Patrick really couldn't recognize his parents before, it's no wonder they think he's so stupid. To be fair though, Patrick's parents are treating him like a child. But that's when SpongeBob makes his entrance, acting like a complete fool. He wears a karate helmet to look stupid and behaves just weird. He can't even properly introduce himself to Patrick's parents. And this actually makes them start to see Patrick a little more smarter. So far, the plan seems to be working. But then things take a turn for the worse. So during dinner, Patrick starts insulting SpongeBob to entertain his parents, but he forgets that SpongeBob is just pretending to be dumb and starts to genuinely believe it. He makes fun of the way SpongeBob gets ready in the morning and the way he dresses himself. And we all know these are genuine SpongeBob traits, so he is actually insulting him for real. He's not even playing a character anymore. And although this is part of the plan, by now, Patrick is just plainly insulting SpongeBob for his parents' entertainment. SpongeBob finally snaps and pulls Patrick into the kitchen to remind them of the plan. However, Patrick refuses to believe him and insists that SpongeBob is genuinely dumb. There's even a moment where Patrick's wearing a t-shirt that says I'm with Stupid with an arrow pointing at SpongeBob, just flat out mocking him. I remember wanting this shirt so bad when I was a kid, but watching Patrick insult SpongeBob and treat him like garbage is really tough. His behavior just crosses the line from being funny to being downright mean. I know I already said it, but it's like he completely forgot that SpongeBob is his best friend and not actually an idiot. SpongeBob then decides to prove he's smart in front of Patrick's parents by speaking normally and doing simple math. But instead of understanding, they think Patrick taught SpongeBob these basic skills, and this just frustrates SpongeBob to no end. Finally, SpongeBob's exhausted and angry and just confesses that he was only pretending to be stupid to make Patrick look smarter. But Janet and Marty laugh, thinking it's another trick coached by Patrick, and this just pushes SpongeBob over the edge and he crashes to the wall in frustration. Now we get to the ending of this episode, and to be honest, I never saw this coming. It feels like the plot twist ending of The Sixth Sense. Janet and Marty, the 2 starfish who show up as Patrick's parents, realize they don't even have a son. That's when Squidward arrives with Patrick's real parents, who are thrilled to see him. And I guess by the end, SpongeBob was just left with some PTSD trauma. It's kind of obvious why this is one of the most hated episodes by Patrick, because it honestly just reminds me of that other episode that we talked about where he had this toy and he wouldn't let SpongeBob borrow it even though it was SpongeBob toy. But yeah, 3.5 out of 10 for a Patrick episode. In the card, SpongeBob heads to the bank to get some cash. He is being super picky about getting a bill. Anyways, he's after these new Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy trading cards. At the store, Patrick's there too, but he's more interested in a counting book, which is just so perfectly fitting for Patrick, you know? I mean, it's not like he has to count how much money he has to pay for a book about counting, right? But anyways, SpongeBob buys a pack of cards, gets all excited, but then the store clerk crushes his excitement by saying they're not valuable compared to the ultra rare card 54. There are only 5 in existence and SpongeBob is desperate to find one. After buying a bunch of packs and running out of money, Patrick buys the last pack and surprise, surprise, he finds the rare card 54. Here's where it gets wild. Patrick starts using this card like it's nothing. He's picking his teeth with it and not even realizing how valuable it is. SpongeBob freaks out trying to protect the card from Patrick's freaking dumbness. He even uses it to open his rock, scrape his grill, and as a napkin. Finally, the card just destroyed, turning into dust, and SpongeBob is devastated. But Patrick casually pulls out the remaining 4 copies of the rare card from the same pack and just gives them to SpongeBob. It's such a Patrick move to completely be unaware of the card's value, but still having all the luck. But SpongeBob ends up with all the cards he wanted, even after all the drama. Now, it would be easy to think that Patrick wasn't aware of how rare and desirable these cards were for SpongeBob, but this is like not the case. During the episode, SpongeBob explained the importance of the card, yet Patrick chooses to ignore SpongeBob and just zones out of the conversation. And if you didn't comprehend what I just said, bro picked his teeth with it, he sticks it in the fat fold of his back, he wrinkles it while trying to open his house, he cleans his grill with it. Okay, you get it. To me, it seems that everything that Patrick does during the episode was on purpose and just aimed to cause SpongeBob more frustration and anxiety. Stuck in the Ringer is the last episode I want to talk about, but I still can't find myself to even like this episode a little bit. It starts with SpongeBob taking his usual morning shower. He steps off and dries himself out using his wringer, and everything's fine until he nearly slips on a bar of soap, which he cleverly avoids. But then SpongeBob steps on a rubber duck, sending him slipping back onto the soap and getting stuck in the wringer. Enter Patrick. He finds his lost rubber duck and, without listening to SpongeBob's cries for help, uses forever glue to help SpongeBob permanently trap him in the wringer. Now hear me out. Patrick understood what he had done because he even brags to SpongeBob that he now has to be stuck there forever. SpongeBob tries to go about his day as normal as possible, but being stuck in the wringer causes all sorts of problems. Initially at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob is able to assemble the Krabby Patties, but then things start to spiral out of control. SpongeBob spills mustard on Squidward's eyes, then throws the cash register onto a customer's foot, just creating a whole chain reaction of chaos at the Krusty Krab. And you know this infuriated Mr. Krabs because, you know, his money's all over the floor. He ends up kicking SpongeBob out of the Krusty Krab until he figures out a way to get unstuck. Like, bro. Now, Patrick tries to make SpongeBob feel better by taking him to get some ice cream, but SpongeBob can't even enjoy it because the wringer is in the way of the ice cream getting into his stomach. Patrick then decides to take SpongeBob to the carnival, but not before eating his ice cream, of course. Now, at the carnival, Patrick and SpongeBob try and have fun, but I mean, come on, how much fun can you have if SpongeBob is actually stuck in the wringer? He even gives himself a black eye while throwing a ball. Patrick, eager for SpongeBob to stay, lies that the carnival is never in town, despite a sign that reads "Carnival always here." This is the moment where I need to mention that although Patrick's actions might not seem to have bad intentions, he is being selfish. Sure, he took SpongeBob for ice cream, but then again, he ate it all. He takes SpongeBob to the carnival, but Patrick is the only one having fun. And let's not forget, besides his rubber duck causing this issue, he made it 1,000 times worse by applying the forever glue, fully knowing that this is not the right thing to do. SpongeBob is clearly frustrated with Patrick and lets him know about it, and to be honest with you, I mean, he's completely right. Like, although the episode never ends with Patrick finally helping SpongeBob, this episode shows that sometimes Patrick's stupidity, even if it's not on purpose, can cause SpongeBob real pain and suffering. Throughout the entire show of SpongeBob, I think Patrick just consistently shows behavior that he lacks consideration and empathy for SpongeBob. And not only for his feelings, but for his well-being too.